2, 1, go.
Hello, Ignacy and Portal Games.
And this is the podfather of gaming, Stephen Bonacore. You are listening to Board Games Insider, episode 194, and we're recording this on May 12th, 2021. Board Games Insider is a proud member of the Dice Tower Network. And Tom Vasel loves pie so much, so much, that I will be giving him another pie in the face just for his enjoyment at the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular, which is happening from July 6th to July 9th. You can all watch it live. And why will I be pieing him in the face again for the third time? Besides the fact that he loves pie so much, you ask? Well, stay tuned to the next part of the show, and you'll find out why Tom is getting another pie in the face for the third time. Hi, Ignacy. How are you?
Oh, I'm fine. Thank you. This is a legendary you and Tom and pie. I can't wait to see all these videos on social media right after. It
will be fun again, but there's always a reason behind this pie, so you'll have to find out in a moment. But before we actually start the rest of the show, let me mention that we are running a contest right now. We've been talking about that for our 200th episode, which is coming up soon. So stay tuned to the event deck for more information on our exciting contest and how you can enter it to win 2 games, up to 2 games. Well, you can win 1 game, 2 people will win for the 200th episode. Stay tuned for that. In the meantime, Ignacy, tell us what is happening at Portal Games. It's huge things happening.
The most important news of the week is me moving. So this is a personal news, but I am Portal Games, so I'm moving, and it's very, very important. The whole company is cheering me and Mary that we will finally move. Of course, the team that was renovating our new apartment delayed the whole process for about 5 months, so not that bad. And we are finally ready. So I'm recording this podcast probably the last time from this location. So a shout out to my old house. I had a great memories here. And if you can go in this game design road, in this very house that I lived for the past 10 years, I designed Robinson Crusoe, I designed Detective, I designed EPR Settlers. So that was a good house. I hope my new apartment also will have some achievements.
May you have as much design success in the new house as you've had in the old house, because it's been great run over there.
If my next designs will be crappy, I promise everyone I will move back to the old house. I promise you, my fans, I will not fail you. So let me know in the future what you think about my new house and my new, talent. On a serious note, 3 dates, May 27th, very, very soon. It's happening very, very soon. The street date for Vienna Connection and Egyptian Kings. Oh my God.
What do I have here?
What are you seeing?
What do I have here? See, you have to watch the podcast, watch our video.
Do you have any network? What just happened?
How did I get a copy of Vienna Connection with the special Kickstarter stuff?
My news item was that we are starting to ship it. What happened?
Well, that's right. And guess who got their shipment here in South Florida? I backed your Kickstarter. I wasn't going to ask for a free game. I backed the Kickstarter.
I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. And the funny thing is, a box showed up from, I think it was QML.
QML.
Yeah, QML, which is in, Central Florida. So a box showed up was like, what did I order? What Kickstarter am I getting? And all of a sudden I got this. I went the pre-order. So it looks great. I have not opened it, as you can see, because it literally arrived yesterday or the day before. But I got all the Kickstarter promo stuff. So I wanted to wait to show you this.
Ignacy is smiling, and this is a rare situation.
So everybody out there should watch the YouTube video so you can see this beautiful red, gray, and black box with pretty people on it. Oh, your face is not on this, but I see your employees are on there. Good. Sorry to interrupt, but I thought that was important.
That was very nice. That was amazing. Thank you for that.
You're welcome.
So I was going to say that we are starting to ship the copies. Apparently it's happening. We had 1,800 pre-orders. That was our second biggest pre-order campaign in the history of the company. And now
Right.
my warehouse is just hating me for my marketing skills. The better campaign I do, the more they hate me. But of course, these upcoming days, like Steven just showed, you are going to play Vienna Connection. We are making the next weekend the moment that we will open the Antares website. So now everybody's getting packages, time to read the rules. And the next weekend we are opening the Antares website, and everybody can start playing the game. So I'm very, very eager for the feedback for the game. So this is what's happening. And as always, we say one product is on the market. The other products are on my design tables. We are playtesting Dreadful Circus. And I wanted to just, in a few words, very short, but explain the process because it's very interesting. So the game is ready. The game is, of course, designed by Bruno Faidut. It's a great card game. All the rules are locked down. Everything is ready. And what we are playtesting right now, we are playtesting the layout. We are playtesting the icons. We are playtesting how the cards look, if they are clear to understand. And the whole this week, we are playtesting the game that we already know and love, and it is final. But different cards, different illustrations, different icons, different layout. So this is also a very important process in game production. And we always say about the designers playtesting the rules. And playtesting what the DTP is doing is also very, very important. So that's what was happening this week. Kudos to my team. That was every single day they were preparing a new version of the card, new version of the card, new version of the card, so we can check all the options and see what's the most clear for the fans. So that was what's happening. Fun week for me so far. Lots of playing, lots of fun, and great feedback for our
Awesome.
team.
Awesome.
Yep.
And yeah, the game looks great. So good luck with all of that. So over here at the Podfather of Gaming, there's a lot of trips happening, now that vaccines have rolled out. So I mentioned last time I've got a Vegas trip coming up in mid-June. I can get out of here for a little while the house is being remodeled, and we'll talk about that in a second. In mid-July, we have scheduled, and people who watch the happy hour or come to the happy hour know about this. We're going to be going to Corey Thompson's house, who's a very nice person who decided he's going to host all of us idiots. We're calling it CoreyCon, aka Podfather the Gathering. And we're going to be out there for like a convention, like for 5 days. It's not a con, of course, it's in his house. It's a house convention. Looks like about 12 people, something like that, will be there, plus or minus. Everyone has to be vaccinated to be there. Using crash space on the floor. Some people might even get a local hotel as well. But gaming for like 5 days, like it's like we're at a convention. So it just feels so good to be back out, there, back outside with people and actually doing face-to-face gaming. I mean, it's just so good. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about face-to-face gaming in a second.
I hear you. I just talked with Mary. We are planning the same, like a board game retreat for the company, for Portal Games employees, to just gather them to go anywhere, finally go anywhere, and just have a weekend of playing. We all need that.
I mean, and maybe I can take a second to just tell everybody, I highly recommend that, once you're vaccinated fully and you've gotten, you waited the extra 2 weeks, try to do something. I mean, it's so good for your mental health to get back to where we were, before. You think that, well, I can spend time here. It's nothing. It's not a big deal. I don't mind. I'm kind of introverted anyway. Yeah, even introverts need to see some people and do the things they loved. And there's Ignacy, who is basically an introvert.
Yep.
But getting back there and getting out with people is so good for you to do it again. So, when you feel safe, and of course, when you're vaccinated, get yourself out there and try to do some stuff. It's going to make you feel so good. While I'm out in California, I'm going to spend some extra time out there. I'm calling it the Podfather Food and Wine Tour. And I'm going to just spend time around Napa Valley and Sonoma Valley and just eat my way around and drink great wine for like another several days after the CoreyCon. So that's an extra little thing. So I mentioned at the top of the show that I'm going to be pieing Tom in the face. Well, that might be true or it might not be true. And here's the thing. So Tom said, I really need to diet. And I'm like, I looked at him, I said, yeah, you do. And he said, we did talk about a challenge once. I'm like, yeah, you know what? I could really use to lose some weight too. I feel like I avoided COVID-19 by putting on the COVID-20, if you understand, right? I've like added not 20 pounds, but I've added some weight. Not good. So Tom challenged me and I accepted the Bonacor versus Vasel diet challenge. It's going to be on a percentage basis because he's a much bigger person than me, right? The funny thing is that we weighed ourselves. I won't shame him or me with the exact weight. So we'll talk. We're going to be talking about it on Board Game Breakfast tomorrow to like launch the challenge, and we'll be doing that kind of going forward. Oh, and there's going to be some epically funny things. I'm going to be sending pies to Dice Tower Studio because he loves pies. So I'm just going to keep sending pies and donuts there. I've done a lot of these diet challenges in my former life on Wall Street. So it's a percentage of body weight challenge. So if I lose 8% and he loses 7%, I would win, even though he lost more weight than me because he's quite a bit bigger, but he's like almost a foot taller than me. So that's, by definition. So the loser of the challenge will get pied live at the Dice Tower Summer Spectacular, which is going to go on July 6th to 9th. I'll go down there and we'll finish off the challenge and play some games and do some stuff together. And on the note about the Dice Tower headquarters, where obviously they have just moved into a new headquarters down there, I got a chance to go down there last week. Had a great time. The place is amazing.
I saw Kemet.
We played Kemet 2nd edition. I lost epically badly in the game. I tried a completely dumb strategy and I lost badly, but I did win the first game against Tom, a game called Sheepy Time from AEG. Really cute little game. I think I'm pretty sure it just came out. Kudos to AEG for this cute little game. You can basically play with anybody. It's about you're a sheep and you're going to sleep and you're trying to stay away from the big bad nightmares and things like that. It's adorable. Dice Tower Studio is amazing. He's got the entire Dice Tower library now in the house. It's a house with studios like in the different bedrooms, basically. Beautiful yard. So he did great. So Tom, I hate to compliment Tom too much, but he did really great job. The staff is going to do great there. So happy that they're all doing that. The lovely Paula Milano, my girlfriend, she is now in New Jersey helping her mother. So I have to, and for like 2 weeks, so I have to figure out some havoc that I can cause around here. So if anybody has any ideas for some havoc that I can cause when she's away, let me know, of course. But one thing that I am going to do, on Monday, by the time people hear this, it'll already have happened. I'm going to be going to Kennedy Space Center alone. I'm just going to drive up there. It's a 2-hour drive. There's a really cool rocket launch. It happens to be for one of these like CIA type, they launch a satellite, secret kind of satellite, but you can watch it. And I'm going to be doing it at the newly reopened Apollo Center at the Kennedy Space Center. So that whole section's been closed for COVID, but now they've reopened it and it's the best viewing area for many of the rocket launches. So I'm going to be about 5 miles away from the launch. You got a direct line of sight to the rocket, and it's an Atlas V rocket, which is the second largest rocket that's currently in operation, second to the Falcon Heavy. So I'm excited about that, to see that and feel that, and I'll be documenting that when I'm up there. I'm a nerd.
Do you think they are launching this rocket to celebrate Vienna Connection Street Date? Or
that's it. I think it might be because Vienna Connection is about spying, right? So this could be, the spy sat. Maybe I think that the name of the code name for this rocket is Vienna Connection.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
Makes sense.
And then the last thing is I'll just quickly mention that we are Ignacy moved. We're not moving. We're remodeling the whole first floor. I have mentioned this already, and literally the entire floor right now. I'm upstairs in my office in the house where all the bedrooms are basically. The downstairs is completely packed and moved out, and that includes all 2,000 games from my game collection, all 5 Kallax shelves packed out, all the furniture's out because we're demolishing the whole thing. My life is going to get specifically crazy over the next 6 to 8 weeks because I'm going to be homeless when they start this for 2 weeks. I'm going to move in with my brother down in Delray Beach, which is pretty close. Paula, myself, and the cat moving in with my brother. I told him, too bad. He's got to take us in for 2 weeks until they lay down the floors and stuff like that. Then we'll just be living upstairs without a kitchen for a while until it's all done. It's a 6 to 8 week process starting next week. Pray for me because I'm going to go crazy.
Did you pack your War of the Ring copy personally, or you let somebody do it?
Oh, no. That did not get packed, nor did it go to the storage center. That is in the bedroom directly next to where I'm sitting right now. It's in one of the guest rooms. Nobody touches that game. When I moved here to Florida, though, I did have to do that. I had to have somebody pack it, and I insured that game specifically. I said, guys, this is one of the most valuable items in the place. This thing is worth $2,000. I don't know what I told them, but this thing I will put in a claim if anything happens to it, and it came in pristine condition, so I was okay. Just the last thing about conventions, we got some bad news that we won't talk about in the news section because it's not a huge convention, but the World Board Gaming Championships, which I was going to go to this year for the first time in like 5 years, it has been canceled officially. That's in the Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania area. It was canceled as of this week. Very sad. I really thought that they were going to do it. It's really in a remote area. I mean, Pittsburgh's a big city, but it's like an hour away from Pittsburgh. I thought that they were going to run it. I was going to meet all my Jersey friends. We have a week of just gaming and hardcore, like Twilight Imperium type, War of the Ring type gaming. We play the big stuff. Sad, not going to happen. So the first convention that absolutely looks like it's happening, air quotes on convention in this case, is the Gathering of Friends. It's Alan Moon's invite only thing. And then of course we roll into September with Gen Con. Very excited about that. I'm going to all of them. Going to be exciting. Let's get to the event deck. All right, everybody. Episode 200 contest. I told you about this at the top of the show. We've been talking about it now for about 3 episodes or so. Make sure you enter. How do you enter the contest? You get 1 entry in the contest if you add a good question in our Ask Us a Question thread in our guild on Board Game Geek. I mean, you can ask us personal questions that are silly, but, industry type stuff about publishing, stuff about distribution. Just make it something other than like what's your favorite color, and you'll get an entry into the contest that we will announce the winner of on after the 200th episode. And then you get a second entry into the contest if you record a video or an audio and post it on either Twitter or Facebook with the hashtag Board Games Insider. Ignacy, have you checked to see?
People are very lazy. I'm so disappointed. Guys, I will record myself and I will win my own game. And this is a good game, so.
I'm telling you, I mean, you'll be one of only a few extra people that can get an extra entry into that. It doesn't take much time. Facebook or Twitter, hashtag Board Games Insider, record an audio file or a video file, post it there. And by the way, there'll be 2 winners in the contest for 2 different games, or whatever 2 games that Ignacy puts up from the Portal Games catalog. I'm sure they're going to be great ones. Ignacy, do you know which ones yet?
Yeah,
make them pick. Right, they'll pick.
Absolutely.
They pick whatever you want from Portal Games catalog. Ignacy is a very generous guy. All right, let's get to some of the news. And it's been a fairly slow-ish news week, but then at the end, we got a bunch of things that came in. The first one is great news, which we just kind of mentioned about Gen Con. The Gen Con badge registration date has been announced, and is also at Gen Con, they've announced there's going to be a trade day. That means for the industry, the retailers to meet the publishers on the day before, most likely. So Gen Con announces that badge registration for Gen Con 2021, and that date will be on May 23rd. So it will be 4 days after you hear this podcast, it will be open. Gen Con, the attendance is going to be capped this year due to COVID concerns, and the potential attendees can purchase a limited number of 4-day badges, and there'll be some 1-day badges as well, I believe. These badges are likely to sell out quickly, as attendees who have rolled over their 2020 badge are guaranteed to receive a badge. More single-day badges may become available later based on health and safety concerns. And then additionally, there'll be a trade day at Gen Con. Alliance game distributors will provide a modified schedule and content tracks, and Gen Con will have a limited quantity of trade day badges available on May 23rd for educators, librarians, and retailers. Attendees with rolled over 2020 badges will be contacted with additional information. So I'm excited. Gen Con is a go. There's nothing that looks like they're going to be stopping them yet.
I'm very eager to see what will happen. Early in the year, I was Slavic Ignacy, and I was saying that people will be afraid of coming to Gen Con. We have like this big trauma about COVID. But I think now, when we are closer to the situation, that the bigger trauma is staying at home. Like we are so tired of being at home, and the vaccination process goes so well in America. That now I'm less Slavic, I'm much more optimistic, and I cannot wait to see the feedback from the Gen Con attendees,
right,
and to see these people having fun, being in Indianapolis, and once again, let's get back to the normal. Very happy.
Let's make it happen. Let's make it happen. I was wrong a lot early on about timelines, for getting back to normal. But, once I saw the curve with the vaccines and how well we started doing, I did predict that we would see Gen Con happen. I thought we might get the Dice Tower, as you remember. I started predicting that early on, that we'd have Dice Tower, not Dice, yeah, the Dice Tower East convention, which normally goes off in the beginning of July, but that was canceled. But now Gen Con is going to happen, and I'm very happy for it. The next one is bad news on the convention side. Tickets for the UKGE, that's the UK, United Kingdom Games Expo, went on sale. Oh, no, that's right. It's good news. I'm sorry. I thought that they canceled. That is so funny.
I was so confused when I hear them. What I'm not understanding. What's happening?
That's so funny. I put the news in here, but I thought that they canceled. What a silly thing. No, it is not. That they are actually going to be doing it as well. And their event is actually happening early. Their event is happening at the same time that the WBC would have happened. It's a short event, though, July 30, 31, and August. So
it's a weekend. It's a classical European thing. Like in Europe, we have so many conventions that takes from Friday to Sunday. This is like a standard convention. When I was for the first time, interested in Essen and in Gen Con, this big convention that takes from the Wednesday, from Thursday to the whole weekend. No, this is Friday, Saturday, Sunday convention.
Yeah, Americans like to make more money by charging you for extra days that you can't go very often, I think.
Because you're at work anyway, correct?
Yeah, that's right. But
are you looking at the page, because this hashtag play with confidence? I fully respect if you can describe what we are seeing, because I fully respect what we see here.
Yeah, let me read it, because it is really cool. There's been a lot of will they or won't they when it comes to conventions this year, with all of us desperate to return to some normality and get playing games and meeting people in an environment from a convention expo environment, balanced with the difficulty of doing so in a safe manner and with the uncertainty of our future as a result of COVID-19. However, excitingly, UK Games Expo are proceeding with a hashtag play with confidence promise. And what does that mean? Well, see below for more details, but it's a confidence-conscious, safe environment offering confidence in attendees. A negative COVID test is necessary to attend. The venue has been adapted to include extra space and sanitation and extra procedures, as in part advised by Public Health England. That must be their like CDC or their Bureau of Health and Safety. As a result, this may be the first large gaming convention in over a year, and tickets are available starting today. And today what day was this? It was on, I believe, a couple of days ago that this thing went on.
Yes, it was last week. But look now at the infographic, like how it is clear, and like it makes me confident that they are caring for me and for attendees.
Yeah. So the first thing is confidence in the attendees. Everybody attending must show a negative lateral flow test. I don't know what that means, but basically a negative COVID test, or I'm assuming a vaccination card would be good. I don't know from here. Test must be within 24 hours of attending. So like you must go there, get a test, and then they'll let you in, kind of thing. And the staff will have 2 tests, as they will be on site for longer. Confidence in the venue. There's going to be hospital grade filters, sanitizing stations, special cleaning teams. confidence in procedures. Aisles will be wider, reduced capacity. Staff and volunteers undergo comprehensive training before the show, and confidence to release tickets. Finally, they'll be releasing tickets. The ticket prices are very reasonable, I noticed. I didn't know that they were so inexpensive here to go. Even a full show ticket is only £35 sterling. That's about whatever, 45 US dollars. Very, very, very easy. And it's hashtag Play with Confidence. Tickets released on Friday, May 7th. So about 2 weeks.
Last week ago.
Yeah, after you hear this, before you heard this, they just came out. So this is they've given us a very clear indication on the work they'll do.
Yes, shout out how it is presented, and great job.
Yeah, really, really happy that they're doing this. Again, first major convention. Now, I specifically said I wasn't going to UKGE this year because it conflicted with another convention. I'm still going to say I'm not going to go this year, only because getting to Europe is still an issue for me, and who knows what's going to happen by then. Also, one of the major hotels there is closed, I think, for renovation or something like that, the Hilton. So it's going to be kind of crowded and stuff in general and hard to do. I'm going to try to get there next year. So everybody in the UK that listens to us, and I'm assuming we have a bunch of people there.
At least Matthew Jude.
Matthew Jude, our editor, he listens to us because he's got to edit this nonsense. So I hope to be there next year. So that'll be a great trip because I do love England. I've been to England a few times, and London is like one of my favorite cities in the world. So congratulations, UKGE, for putting this all together. And sorry for getting it wrong initially. It was bad news. It's good news, all good news. More great news, really great news. We talked about last week that Wizards of the Coast was getting back to in-store play in Japan. Well, guess what? And then we were like, well, when are they going to do that in the U.S. and every place else? U.S. in-store play suspension for Magic the Gathering will end soon. Wizards of the Coast has announced that it will lift the ban on Magic the Gathering in-store play for the U.S. region on May 28th. So that'll be only a week or so after you hear this. Magic the Gathering in-store play suspension has been ongoing in the U.S. region since last July due to COVID-19 pandemic. Last month, WotC offered a similar hope to organizers when they reinstated in-store play in Japan, as I just mentioned, which signaled the end of the ban might be in sight. As the pandemic began to wind down further, WotC finally announced that it was ending the suspension for the U.S. on May 28th. To help bring the dormant OP scene back to life, Wizards of the Coast is offering a 3-part promotion to retailers this summer. Starting June 18th, retailers will be offered a sales promo of foil retro frame Fabled Passage to hand out to each customer that spends $50 or more in-store on sealed Magic product while supplies last. WotC will follow that up later in the summer by sending retailers 5 different retro frame promos to be given away for each in-store event entry. This is great stuff, Ignacy. So again, while we're not in the collectible card business and never have been, and we will never, it's too crazy of a business. Obviously, Magic the Gathering and Wizards of the Coast is integral to the success of the hobby. And it's so cool that they're now coming back with organized play in store. Great news.
Yes, and either though they are probably not listening to us, once again, a shout out to them, because for the past year, couple of times we reported how WotC is supporting retailers. There was these additional free cards, additional boosters for the retailers to help local game stores survive. There was like a couple of actions during this whole year. So shout out to Wizards. Of course, it is important for them, to local game stores, to survive. So they have some business in helping them. But they did help, and this is great. So kudos to them. And especially today, I think that there is a balance in the life. And for the past year, we were reporting only bad news, and now it's time for us to have every single week good news. Everything starts to open, and this is a great time for all of us.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? Like, this is like the good news show. Oh, that's what we're going to call this. The one about all good news. That's what we're going to call this show. There you go. We have a title for it. Anyway, now it's time to move to strategy and tactics. Okay, in strategy and tactics, where we get our questions where you can post them for the contest. Remember that, everybody. Go there, post some questions for us. First one's from Kerry Cupid, who's KC Spaceman on Board Game Geek. Is there still an expansion planned for First Martians? I think we might have even taken this question in the past for somebody else. But...
No, it's not. I had some notes. I have something started, but the game is already sold out. There's no reprint plan. Players moved on to the new Mars games. So maybe in my free time, that will never happen. I will finish the expansion, but this is not a strategy goal for the company to bring out a new expansion for the game. So most likely not. Maybe on retirement, because I said I had some ideas, but the company needs me on the detective front, on the Imperial Settlers front, on the Robinson Crusoe front, and First Martians had to be moved.
Yeah, and Kerry, just so you know, this is, it is sad that sometimes the game, maybe a game that you particularly love and really want to see more content, just can't get more content. It just can't, because of sales, and sales trajectories, what a company plans on. So Ignacy is going to be doing other projects at the moment. Next one, I don't have the person's name, but the person is at Jaffawahaha on BGG. Stephen and Ignacy, thanks for a lovely podcast. We're lovely boys, aren't we?
Thank you.
What's the longest board game in time you've ever played? Ooh, the longest time we've ever sat down to play a single game.
I have my answer. My answer is a game called Here I Stand from GMT.
Yeah, it's a long
one. We made a mistake because we thought we can do it. So we met at the convention. Nobody from the players played the game before. One of the players only read the rules, and we expected him to explain us the game and play. We started at the convention about 9 a.m. About 4 p.m., after we were in the middle of the first round, I said, I'm done. And I left the table, not looking back at the rest of the team. That was almost the whole day struggling, trying to understand what the hell is going on. And I still respect this game, but I'm afraid to try it again.
Yeah, that's a big war game. And if you're not going to do it by knowing the rules beforehand, that's going to be a problem. I'm sure that I have a better answer for this question that I'm going to give you now. And my buddy Chad, who I talk about a lot, would definitely tell me, goes, oh, you remember we played the yada yada. But the only thing I can remember is some very epically long Twilight Imperium games, like a 6-player Twilight Imperium game, which went on for probably closer to 8 hours versus 6 hours. I can't think of anything else. And I'm sure that I played some fairly long War of the Ring games, when we were learning it early on. But I'm going to say that it's probably a 6-hour game, though. If I ever remember to ask Chad, did we play any war games that went on longer than that?
I'm always blown away by the dudes at the Dice Tower Con who play this Mega Civilization game for like the 24 hours or so. This is like 12 or 14 people playing one game for the whole day and night. It's set up always in this big games room at the Dice Tower Con, and it's like everybody's checking what they are doing. They're playing Mega Civilization. Yeah, this is epic.
At Gathering of Friends, they played Mega Civilization with 18 players. I think 18 is what it goes up to, and they might have had a full 18, and they played it starting at like 9 a.m. and at midnight they called the game. I think they stopped. They just said, okay, they declared a winner or something like that. They did not even finish the game. That's pretty insane. I did play a very long game of Civilization, but I'm not sure it went more than the Twilight Imperium game. Not sure. I'm gonna find out. Now I gotta find out what it was. I'm gonna text Chad right now. Maybe I'll do it in the show. Nate Janichin, who's at Mediocre Gamer. I like the way he spelled that. Mediocre Gamer. Long-time listener, first-time caller, first-time question. Very nice. Guys, love the show and congrats on making it further than Tom expected. Here's to 100 more, and we're getting there.
Thank you.
Everyone asks board game questions. I'm going to ask a podcast question. What is the process you guys take when recording a podcast? Funny you should ask, right? We've modified it over time and things like that. So Ignacy, I'll start and you add some details. First of all, the thing that we do is we set a day every week that we're going to do this. And our day is Wednesday at 10 a.m. Eastern time, which is usually 6 p.m. in Central European time, Poland time.
4 p.m. Now it's a 4 p.m. Of
4
course,
p.m.
it depends. Winter time, springtime. These stupid daytime says.
Yes.
Whatever.
6-hour difference. So 10 p.m. here, 10 a.m. Oh God, Eastern time in Florida or New Jersey, and 4 p.m. in Poland. So Ignacy takes a little bit of time out of the end of his day, and I get on right after breakfast and reading the news. And we have a show notes. We have this. I look at these show notes where you can hear me reading things, and I read so badly sometimes. And these are like running show notes. I have the show notes back from episode 1 stored in a file, and we keep one long file, but then like every year I cut it and we go to a new file.
And this is a Google Docs document that we both add some things. If you find some interesting news, we add it. So this is like a cooperation on Google Docs.
Yep. And in the doc, what I do is just keep adding information. I'll take like last week's show, I'll copy it, paste it onto the top, change the date and the episode number, and then we edit that and say, okay, well, what's happening now at Portal Games? And Ignacy makes his changes. What's happening now in my life? I make those changes. I scrape the questions from the post your questions here in the guild, and I put them in there. And then every week I cut out the ones we've already done, and I keep getting them. I do it like page at a time from there. And then we change the playtest question, and then that's it. So we try to keep it every week to this kind of format. On Wednesday, very often, especially during travel, we have to move it. But we've been pretty good on Wednesdays. Friday is our backup date because Thursday at the same exact time I do Board Game Breakfast with Tom and Z. And that's it. I mean, it's pretty easy. I do most of the work because Ignacy's very lazy. No, Ignacy's busy running a company. So I do most of the work and keeping the notes together and stuff like that. But then, and then we both record the audio files separately, the audio tracks separately. So they're the best quality. We send them over to Matthew Jude, who we talk about all the time. And he's our editor. He levelizes them and puts in the bumpers and stuff like that. And then we publish it to the media. I take the video recording and I just take the raw feed and I put the video up on my YouTube channel. And a lot of people have been liking to watch us because we are very attractive men. They like to watch us versus listening to us. And it's, in COVID times, maybe looking at it is easier than just listening to it because you can engage with us a little bit, face to face. That was a long answer, but that's pretty good, right?
Yep, everything is explained, and it is pretty easy to record podcasts these days. That's why this format is so popular. There's so many great podcasts out there because, yes, you just need to have a mic, and even the stupid phone has a mic, and you just call your friend or Zoom or whatever, or Skype, and you can start recording, and then the magic happens.
That's right. And next year, Nate, you had to vote for us so we'll win the BGG podcast of the year instead of just being nominated, right? Okay, hopefully. Last question for the day. Aaron Natera asks, he's at Atrox7. Why doesn't Stronghold have a game in their catalog about craft beer? And why is a game about cookies missing from Portal? Why? Well, because not a good one. And trust me, I tried. I have looked at literally 6 different games about beer over the time. Of course, I'm not there anymore with Stronghold, but over the time that I was there, I looked at 6 different games about beer. And no offense to the designers, none of them truly rose to a level that I liked. There were some that were closer, but they didn't really do it. Simple as that. I wanted one so badly.
I have in my collection a couple of cookie games because there are games about cookies, believe it or not. So I have them. Of course, I didn't publish any of them because what I love the most, of course, is eating cookies, and I have the supply all around me every single day. So I'm eating cookies, I'm playing cookies, I'm not publishing a game about cookies, but who knows, maybe as a viral joke for some anniversary of the company, we can make like a small print run of the game. The fans would appreciate like this limited game about cookies.
That would be a really cool, funny, print and play or something like that, or a small edition. I think that would be great to do. I'm going to give a shout out to a classic game about beer, not about craft beer, but about German beer festivals, the Oktoberfest being the famous one, which we reported on, I think. Oktoberfest just got canceled, sadly, for this year. It's called Goldbrau. Ever play that, Ignacy? Goldbrau? No. It came out by Rio Grande, obviously from Hansum Gluck, I think. 25 years ago, maybe 25, long time ago, classic. And you've got to basically attract people to your booth, to your tables, to drink your beer at a beer festival. Very cool. It's like an area control kind of game. Less thematic than some of the newer ones that are out there. A little old school, but I enjoyed that one. And I haven't enjoyed any really of the newer ones that have come now. So anyway, good question. Let's get to play testing. All right, this week is a Steven question, and it's a silly question because you know me, I'm about as silly a man as it comes. I'm serious about business, but I'm silly about my personal life. So my question to all of you, and this is less to Ignacy, but you can kind of answer it, and we'll couch our answers to each other. But the question to all of you out there is, which of these would you like to do most? You must choose one. Make it the right one. A, have a beer with Bonacor, or a glass of wine, or a single malt, or a soft drink. All acceptable. B, have a tea with Ceviche, or a coffee, or a latte, or a soft drink. C, have a vinegar with Vasel, or a soft drink. I couldn't come up with a drink for him, so vinegar, liquid. So the question really is, to everybody out there, who would you like to meet and spend a little time with talking more? And it's okay if you don't pick me, though I will never speak to you again. Beer with Bonacor, tea with Ceviche, or vinegar with Vasel. Which would you rather? Now, Ignacy, for you and me, let me answer it first, then you can see how I'm answering. I'm going to answer that I would rather get together with you and spend a little time than Tom. Not because I love Tom, but obviously it's easy for me to do so, easier to do so. And I never see you. I see you these days. I've seen you once. I haven't seen you in a year and a half, right? At least.
Yep.
So I would like, if the next time, if I had the choice of going out and hanging out with you for a little bit or hanging out with Tom for a little bit, I would choose you. You don't have to choose me if you don't want, but you're dead to me if you don't. Go ahead.
First of all, I'm terrible in marketing myself, but I want to warn everyone. I'm introvert, and spending time with me is like quite boring. So
not true. You're a very interesting guy.
And of course, I would pick you because we meet every week here on Zoom, and this is like a stupid Zoom. And I would definitely love to meet you face to face finally. And each time we meet, it's a ton of fun and ton of laughs. And this is true all because you're extrovert. Like each time you are around, there's always energy, laughs. Like this is like what we introverts cannot generate, and you can. And it is always a ton of fun around you. And I want also to give a shout out to Mr. Tom Vasel and give some behind the scenes information. No, because most of our listeners know him as a reviewer, right? As a person who reviews games.
Yes.
When the first time I met Tom in like a private situation at a convention, I was really surprised how funny he is, like how many jokes he can say. And you would never say that from the reviews, because in the reviews he is serious because he reviews game. But in his private life, he's so funny. I was really laughing out loud with his stories about some adventures in the plains or some adventures with Z, etc., etc. So if you pick Mr. Tom Vasel, for sure you would have a ton of laughs because he is a pretty funny dude. And that was a surprise for me. I didn't expect that, knowing him as a personality on YouTube.
Again, not to compliment him too much, but no, he really is. And the best part of him, when he and I get together, it's epically funny because he is quick. Because hey, he's on camera constantly, so he's quick-witted and like I'll take a jab at him, and he's boom right back at me, or he'll say something to me, and I won't be able to come back as quick because he does it all the time. He's constantly boom, boom, boom. He is a very funny guy. He and I are very different people. Obviously, he's a family man. I not even married these days. He has a million kids. I got no kids. He does not drink. I drink and party. So we're very different. But the one thing we have in common is that we are very engaging. We like to hang out and socialize and stuff like that. So yeah, kudos to him. So let's ask everybody out there, what would you like more? Ignacy right now is creating this question on Board Game Geek. Would you rather A, have a beer with Bonacord, B, have a tea with Chevychek, or C, have a vinegar with Vasel? Who would you like to meet and just spend a little time with, talking to, and hanging out with? In the meantime, we're going to go to the final scoring. Thank you so much for listening. Help us spread the word about this podcast by telling your friends to download Board Games Insider wherever they like to get their podcasts. To ask us questions for our strategy and tactics segment, you must post them in the correct thread in our guild on Board Game Geek. To answer our question to you for our playtesting segment, silly as it is, also go to our guild on Board Game Geek and look for the thread with this episode's question. Board Games Insider has a Facebook page, so like us on Facebook. Also on Facebook, please like Ignacy's page and Steven's page, /Portal Publishing and /Podfather Gaming. Our websites are portalgamesus.com, podfathergaming.com, and go there, sign up for the newsletters, and get up to the minute info on what's happening at Portal Games and with the Podfather. On social media, speak directly to Steven and Ignacy. Twitter and Instagram, it's at Portal Games US, at Podfather Gaming. And on YouTube, the channels are quite active. Portal Games Movies, Portal Games Gameplays, and the Podfather of Gaming. You can watch us and engage with us like you're looking at us in the eye every week if you go there. Hope to see you guys very soon at one of these conventions we're talking about. Remember that Board Games Insider is professionally edited by Matthew Jude from This Game is Broken podcast, who also was nominated for the best podcast of the year. And if you'd like him to edit your podcast, if you have one, please contact him on Twitter or email at thisgameisbrokenpodcast@gmail.com. Now, Ignacy, not to hold you to anything, but last week you said you might have something interesting and new and refreshing to tell people. Do you have something to tell people?
I have even two things. So one thing is I want to give some behind the scenes information to our fans, and this is we have a mistake in show notes, and Steven called this episode 194, and this is in fact 195.
Oh,
and
good to know.
And I discovered that by posting on Board Game Guild. And the more serious news, news I have, I'm very proud to tease the stuff that we will announce in upcoming days. That we have a new person on board in Portal Games USA, bringing a new talent to the company, and she will be helping me with marketing. So in upcoming weeks, the statement will be that on Twitter and Instagram, you interact with Ignacy or this new person that is joining us. And we'll make some announcement in upcoming weeks. But very, very happy to bring talent, bring new people to the company. I'm always excited with these new hires because they bring like the new energy, and excitement, and this is always a huge boost for the company.
And it's especially the case when you bring like a gamer in, because they're like, I mean, like sometimes you bring in like talent that you need a CFO, like a financial person. I mean, in a bigger company, usually we don't have them normally in small. You bring somebody in from the outside, they bring you new ideas, but they might not bring you energy. In the case when you bring a gamer in who's going to be part of, they're like, oh my God, I'm part of a company. I'm part of a game company. They get so excited and they're so interested. So yeah, it's a wonderful thing. And by the way, to was it Nate who asked the question about like the show and how it works? That was called a copy and paste error, where I copied the things and I didn't change the episode number that I put at the top. I changed the date and not the number. So see, now you got a little behind the scenes look at how I made that mistake.
That's why we record together, because there is two people to make it right.
That's right. That's right. Thank you, everybody, for listening. It was great as always. We'll see you in 1 week. Bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.